All right, well, as we continue to roll along with planting, weather becomes the next major issue out there to focus on. So we just wanted to share with you the weather sources that we typically like to use here in the office. As always, we like keeping things fairly simple. Remember, keep in mind everything we're discussing is for education and example purposes. Make sure you guys understand and know your own risk tolerance as we go through the information. So there's really four weather sources that we typically use. We like to use that 7-day QPF map that typically shows precipitation chances and accumulated precipitation. We like looking at that climate prediction map. The UNL drought monitor obviously is pretty key. And then finally, we take a look at vegetative health. We use that a lot more for South America when we're looking at Brazil and Argentina. So real quick here, we've got that QPF, the 7-day totals right in front of us. This is what's expected for precipitation. As we can see here across the country, it's really non-threatening. There's pretty widespread coverage and potential for some heavy coverage out there in certain areas as well. When we go over to that climate prediction center here, again, you have two outlooks. So you have this 6 to 10-day outlook, a little bit more near term. We've got the temperature outlook as well as the precipitation outlook. Those appear to be non-threatening here at this time as well. And then when we go to the 8 to 14, this is more of an extended outlook, about 2 weeks. Again, really not much threatening as far as crop issues when we look at this temperature or precipitation outlook. The other thing we always take a look at, and many of you are probably familiar with, is that UNL drought monitor. This is something that updates every Thursday. As we can see here, there are some areas that have moderate to severe drought. But when we look at the totality of the growing region and then factor in some scenarios such as having irrigation, we argue that this, again, is really pretty non-threatening at this time. Certainly not unusual, when we look at the widespread growing region throughout the U.S. Lastly, vegetative health index. This is a little more common for us when we want to try and find some information as it relates to South America. We've got the Brazil health index, the Argentina health index here on the same screen. And as you can see, again, really fairly healthy, good crop conditions out there. Not a whole lot to get us concerned when we're looking at Brazil and Argentina's crops. So like we said, really for us, 2 weeks out is about where we want to be. That seems to be what the market likes to trade off of right now. Expectations are for non-threatening weather. So if you're bullish this market, you're going to be looking for some changes in the weather forecast here over the next 2 weeks, or some misses, especially when we get to that QPF. If we get projected for, heavy, or not heavy, but if we start to really pull rainfall out, for example, that would be a bullish scenario. As for now, again, everything looks non-threatening. Remember to keep it simple. We always like the 80-20 rule. If 80% of the things look good out there, the 20% likely isn't going to matter too much. Or if you get 80% of the forecasted rain totals, the 20% that you didn't get probably isn't going to move the market that much. Lastly, like we said, we'll have the links in the description below. As for now, our bias is that the weather is pretty neutral, non-threatening out here in these markets, but something we'll want to monitor here, especially obviously as we head into that 4th of July growing season. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. As always, we enjoy making the content for you. We're so close to 800 subscribers, so please subscribe, like the video. And like I said, we enjoy making this content for you.